Hello, Tony Calvin. I'm a local historian interested in the history of Whitehaven and the surrounding area. So my early experiences of the anglers come from fishing. So my grandparents, parents and myself were a member of Egremont Anglers and fished from the shoreline and right up. So in my younger days I can remember many stories of my grandparents telling me of fishing out from the Anglers Hotel, hiring the boats from the hotel itself and fishing for brown trout as the season prevailed. My earliest experience really is on the local history side and some of the finds I had in the grounds of what would have been the Anglers Hotel. So my interest was on with Victorian bottles and artefacts, and I thought pub, it must have had a dump. They can't have taken the rubbish that far away. So in the grounds just behind me, over my left shoulder, I found a Victorian rubbish tip. Lots of the bottles I found in there all come from Whitehaven, predominantly a firm called Kearney's that were based on Fox Lane in Whitehaven. And the kind of containers I found were ginger beer bottles, lemonade bottles with the marbles in, and various beer bottles, really all from the Victorian period up until about the turn of the century. One of the interesting finds I had, I'll show to the camera now, was an old brass ashtray that will have come out of the pub, which is cleaned up and a prized possession in my house. So we used to spend many days up here digging and made sure it was all safe and put back as it was with the sods on the top after we'd dug there. In 1976, for those that can remember, we had an exceptionally warm summer. We were taking a lot more water out of the lake then, and the level of the lake fell significantly. So it was an absolute field day for me and my friend. We're on the shoreline as the lake dropped. We were picking lots and lots of artefacts, not only bottles but also various pieces of pottery that would have come out of the Anglers Hotel. Probably the pottery would have come from Whitehaven pottery. Last year, which was 2018, the lake did fall a bit low, but not as low, and I'd done a little bit of diving with the snorkeling right off the jetty, the old jetty, and found various pieces of Whitehaven pottery out of the lake. Hello, I'm just going to talk now about some of the postcards, and first of all, one of the pictures I've got. So I come down here many times, and one of my favourite views is driving down from the farm down to the Anglers car park. And it was a picture that I saw at Mitchell's Fine Art Sale by E.H. Thompson, a famous Lake District artist, and I couldn't resist it and bought it. So the actual picture that we've got there is that very one that's hanging proud of place in my house. So next really is a series of postcards. The first one's really coming from the early 1900s, and it's clear visible on the first three that you'll see that the building was a totally different structure at the time. I haven't researched all of it yet, but it became evident that the building, the hotel itself, was rebuilt, and we think somewhere around about the 1930s, but we've got to do a little bit more work on that, and we think that was a result of a fire. And then it became a significant property with, obviously, as well as being a pub, obviously significant sleeping as well. And the later images you'll see, as the time develops, the story develops in the postcards, and the biggest giveaway is all the different cars going through the different periods.
Our lads took a merry night we've had in Ennerdale. The sound of the fiddle, it rings in my ear. Our wreath clipped and healed were the lads and the lasses, and many a clipperlish hussy was there. The Bettermas sword sat snug in the parlour, in the pantry the sweethearters cuttered say soft. The dancers they kicked up a star in the kitchen. Atlanta the card lakers sat in the loft.